Can you tell it's spring with all the allergies coming in?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's supposed to be like this till May.
The trees are out to get us.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're making Uzkrsna Pletenica, which is another Easter bread, and this time it's in the shape of a braid. Whereas last week was reminiscent of, say, like hot cross buns, this week is going to be more similar to challah bread. There are many different ways that you can make the Pletenica. Like I said, we're going to be doing a braid, but it's also possible to make it in such a way where the strands kind of intertwine with each other to look like a hrvatski pleter, which is one of the like symbols of Croatia. It's an intertwiny thingy. I really have no idea how to explain it. There's gonna be a picture here, but I'll explain it way better than I can. It's one of the symbols of Croatia, and that's also where Pletenica comes from, because the things are being intertwined. This recipe I made last year for my grandparents for Easter. Grandma did not want me making it. I told her like a few days in advance that I wanted to make this, and she said okay, and I would remind her every day because Grandma has a tendency to forget things that she deems unimportant. And then finally the day of, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this, and she's like, oh no, you can't, we don't have time, you can't make it. And I said, all right, then I'll just bring everything with me back to the village once I leave. And she was like, you're gonna do this anyway, aren't you? And I was like, yes, I will. And then so she finally relented and said I can make it after we finish making lunch, because nothing could come between Grandpa and lunch. So yeah, I made it last year. It was quite good, if a little dense and bland. So from that, I learned how to do it better, and that's what we're going to do today. Grandma suggested adding in lemon zest and some rum, and that's what we'll be doing, as well as letting it rise a little bit longer after forming the braid. I'm gonna move all this down out of the way, grab my bowl, grab my scale, and we'll go ahead into making the Pletenica. So like last week with the sjenica, everything is just gonna go straight into our bowl. So I'm going to start first with flour. We need 500 grams, which is a lot. I'm just going to go for it. Next up, 80 grams of sugar. Going to go right in as well. Oh, I need to tare that first to make sure I can count to 80. We need 250 milliliters of milk. This is room temperature milk. 1 packet of vanilla sugar. If you're not using vanilla sugar, 1 to 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract plus 8 grams of sugar. So that would be a total of 88 grams plus 1 or 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 packet of instant yeast. This is the same as 21 grams of fresh yeast. And that did not open as well as I hoped it would. Let's hope the other side is, no, it's not. Technical difficulties on set. There we go. A pinch of salt, using table salt because it's fine. 2 pinches because that was a small first one. Table salt because it's so fine, we won't have coarse grains of salt in the final bread product.
Table salt?
Table salt? Did I say table salt?
I think so.
Table salt. 1 tablespoon of rum. Now, the original recipe doesn't call for a tablespoon of rum, but this is something my grandma, when I made this last year for Easter, suggested to add in to make it better. Another thing that I'm adding is the zest of 1 lemon, also my grandma's recommendation. While I made this last year was really good, it was missing something, and she suggested the lemon. So I think the combination of the lemon and rum will make this so much better than the one I did last year. So once again, I need my overpriced microplane. And we'll just go and zest this whole lemon. Before we add in the last few ingredients, that is the butter and 1 egg yolk, we're just gonna take a spatula and give everything a nice mix together to ensure all the ingredients here have been evenly distributed. So Kayla mentioned to me last week that I have 2 spoon rests, and I still was just putting my spatula directly onto the work surface. So this week, I'm going to learn and bring this spoon rest that my dad got me from Spain, and I will, oh my god, Oh my god, if that fell out, I would cry so hard. Okay, we're gonna put the spatula here. Kim, can you put this somewhere else so it doesn't fall? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now that the batter has started to come together, we will add in the butter, which I have cut in, I'm sorry, the butter that I've cut into cubes. I want to get all the butter in there. And we'll use our mixer with the spiral attachments to mix the butter in with the dough. And once the butter has been incorporated into the dough, we'll add our eggs. This is a dirty egg, but it doesn't matter, we're not eating the shell. This is a really dirty egg, okay? One egg, the whole egg, directly in, and we need one egg yolk. In the meantime, we're gonna go back to kneading the dough. And once your dough has come together, remove the dough from the hooks. If it's a little bit ripped where you pulled the hooks out, it's not that big a deal. You did just remove hooks from it, but if the rest of it is smooth, then you know you've done it correctly. And just get the rest of this off, and what we'll do is leave this in a warm place so that it rises about 45 minutes to an hour. It should double in size. Our dough hath risen. Probably the best rise that we have gotten on this show. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of flour just as like a, what's it called? Insurance against it sticking. And we need to form this into a bit of a rectangle. I mean, it's all right, it's in a rectangle. And from this, we need 6 slices of dough. I'm gonna go this way. Some more flour over our workspace. And we want to take one of these slices. Here we go, right? Like such. And we're just going to roll the slice away from us so that it forms a rope of 50 centimeters. It's okay if it's a little bit smaller on the outside than in the middle, because at the outside it's all going to bunch together. And we'll leave this one right up here in the front so then we know how long to make the other strips. And we'll keep doing this until we get all 6 slices into the rope of 50 centimeters. Once we have all of our pieces to the proper length, we'll just take a dish towel, place it over, and let it rise for a further 10 minutes. Right, after 10 minutes, the pieces have risen a little bit. I've also gone ahead and went to preheat my oven to 180 centigrade, which is this much in Fahrenheit. And now it's time to braid the Pletenica. It doesn't matter which side you start on. I'm gonna start from the right and go to the left. So you kind of just take each of the pieces and put them in together like so, and you kind of just twist and smush. You want them to be connected like that. And then we'll move these 3 out of the way and those 3 onto that side. And what we're going to do is we're going to take, once again, it doesn't matter which side you start on, but just be consistent. So we'll take the outer one, I'm starting on the left side. So this outer one comes across everything here. So it comes on to the left, or the side closest to me. Then we'll take the other outer one and move it into the middle as such. And move each of these out of the way, down over, to try to keep the braid up front here as tight as possible. So this side is up first, so we'll go again, the other side, braid over, move everything down as such, and we'll just keep this going. we get here towards the end, we'll just, again, kind of smush them together and roll underneath and press down. So it kind of looks silly at the end, but here we have the Pletenica. After the Pletenica has been braided, we're going to move it from our work surface onto our baking tray. Try to be very careful. Little baby. It's a bit on the bigger side, which is why I'm going diagonally here. And while the oven is preheating, we'll cover and let it rest and hopefully rise a little bit more before we go in the egg wash and put it into the oven. Now that our oven is up to temperature, we will go and do our egg wash. So we need 1 egg, yolk. Already what I had in the bowl was a tablespoon of water. You can put it in afterward, it doesn't matter. I just did it before just to be ready. I'll just take my spork and just mix everything together. So we're using an egg yolk this week instead of an egg white. So this is going to impart more of a golden color to the finished product. Whereas last week, just the egg white was not adding color, just making it look shiny. And gave a very good, kind of like a glue for the sugar to stick on top of the bread. So with a pastry brush, we'll just take the egg yolk mixture and brush it in a thin layer on top. And now that the Pletenica has been properly egg washed, I will put it in the oven and bake for 20 to 25 minutes. I love bread. I love this. It looks so amazingly good. Not burnt, just dark brown, maybe over here in the darkest section, but the inside too, you can see where it expanded. So you get that contrast of the dark brown, the golden on the side, and then the inside runs nice and white. Let's go and cut into this.
I saw the steam come off of that. That looked like it was spicy for the fingers.
Maybe I cut into it too early, but I don't care. The steam coming out of it looked really good, and I'm ready to try it. I don't care if I burn the top of my mouth. That is the point. It peels apart so nicely. What?
Did you see the waft of steam that came out?
I did not, no. I was too busy admiring the fact how it just peeled right apart along the grain, which I guess it's supposed to. Oh. This is for Greg. Off to where you can see on the inside, you can see where the braids were going through in the middle, just peeling apart. As such, I think it needed more lemon, to be honest. You don't really. It definitely needed more lemon. You don't really taste the lemon. Like, I can see it, but the taste isn't really there.
Would you say another lemon zested?
I think another lemon zest would be good. I hesitate to add more juice because then you'd have to add more flour. And the zest gives you a more lemony flavor than the juice anyway. Maybe just 2 lemons would be better because it's really, you don't really taste it at all. I mean, it's good. As you can see, I keep eating it. The crust is so nice and crunchy, and the inside just so pillowy soft and pulls apart so nicely. This was Pletenica. Dobar tek. So I made it, and it was quite good, if a little dense and a little bland.
That's what they used to say about me in high school.